outcomes of that lane.
So then you're asking yourself, how will it develop if Jinoo's able to smash down? Tahm Kench top, debuting here in the LPL, and we always do things differently. Expect the Sunfire cape, but it's Jinoo. He's the carry, and you know he has innovation at its best. We'll watch this one going into the second game. Crowd shot caller for EDG is always going to break their voice. I want to point out as well, thankfully, because it is an LGD series, we do not have 3 sets of chance. I actually wouldn't be surprised if I heard LGD again, but let's look further into this, Clement. Jinoo has decided it's time for Unsealed Spellbook and Precision going second. So that's what I want to look at, because here you can see that easy trades are going to come through, especially with EDG going for the invade over the wall. They hit the Crystal Spire, and of course this is always going to be spotted out by LGD, but good invade and good move here from Jinoo, who decides, I missed. Oh no. He'll get spotted out in his rotation as well, and hang on. PY, no.
Yeah, that's just Nico.
God,
I was a little bit confused.
Fix it.
I don't think it should happen on the...
it's on Observer client as well. Come on.
So just looking at the way EDG is setting up for this early game, the main idea here is just to punish the lane priority in the bot side against the Alistar and Kai'Sa.
Yep.
They're going to do a vertical jungle swap, and that basically means that LGD need to play relatively safe here. They can't really push out, and Kai'Sa's going to reach her items quite easily.
Especially since we've got a level 2 gank in the making. Audacious Charge, Flash as well. Now onto PYL. The knockup's going to come through. iBoy following up, but this one's just for damage. Flash for Flash in the bottom lane, and Jiejie was so gung-ho about that.
Oh, okay. They just want to kill him. Like, this is a very planned play, like, because later on, they're going to have the Flash from Alistar to go in. It's almost impossible to spell shield that, and with Scout around, easy to set up this kill. We've seen how this lane works before. If Sivir doesn't have Flash when it comes to the level 6, then Alistar can just go in. If he gets the E trample down, the stun down, then it's very easy for those plasma stacks to just build out and for Kai'Sa to find the kill.
Also remember that if Jiejie is vertical jungling and he can hover around the bottom lane, that's great. But top lane is also going to be an issue because LGD have access there. Blue buff going to be spotted out here, but still being taken now. As I talk about that, Jiejie has once again made his rotation spot. He has Hex Flash. What?
This is ultimate cheese.
He wanted to come back in. Hex Flash for the making. Meiko underneath turret onto Kramer. They go for the Audacious Charge. They get first blood. Meiko takes a second turret shot, but he lives because the teleport comes down as well. Jiejie's going to trade his life. PYL under turret. Everyone survives, but the jungler, a 2-for-1 EDG, gung-ho again.
And this is the most common play that we've seen in the LPL when it comes to bot lane dives. There's a 3-3 versus 2-2s. All 3 members on EDG side had an extra skill over LGD. Kramer, no Flash, falls down early. Even though PYL gets a great Lights binding onto the incoming Jiejie, you still can't stop that.
I'm just so surprised we have a Xin Zhao with Hex Flash. Like, that's so great. This innovation from EDG is what got them this 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, you just don't expect the timings on that. You see Jiejie going back for his own red, and you think you're safe underneath your own tower, but no. Jiejie has other plans, and those double buffs going over to Scout just makes it so easy for the gank snowball to continue to happen in the mid lane.
Running down and picking up that kill as well.
This is a composition I much prefer EDG to run. There's a lot more potential on early action. It's go, 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 go. There's nothing like a Vladimir in the mid lane that doesn't have priority or you have to wait for.
Yeah. Who would have thought we wouldn't be talking about the Tahm Kench? Because Scout now, even though he got down and picked up that kill, look at the CS difference. Look at what Yuuki was able to achieve. He chose not to roam, not to TP down. The play was lost, so you have to commend the mid laner of LGD for actually choosing the right course of action. He's in a lead, has a dagger in lane, and will be able to just receive the wave and start scaling up.
And they're going to have to think about how they want to deal with this bot side, because this is going to be a reoccurring theme.
Oh, crap. Eimy's here, though. Hex Flash coming in.
Maybe not.
Oh, my
maybe not.
God.
There would have been some surprises for Jiejie.
There is a Scorpion here with Flash. So Hex Flash, again, that innovation trying to come through towards the bottom lane. And Clement, you are right. I was talking about scaling of mid. It's not going to matter. Eimy going to get caught out here as well. And this is where the plays will continue to erupt.
I love the patience here on LGD. They hide the position of their own jungle, so they don't know where the Skarner is just yet. They're actually going to take over a good portion of their map back.
Spotted out by a ward, though, is Eimy, so going back to his own jungle, that's okay. Needs a Spire here to clear this faster, but we'll get it after picking up the Gromp.
Man, Hex flashing junglers are just so damn dangerous.
I mean, it's just such a nice innovation again.
If you look at the warding from EDG, Jiejie can still find his way into the lane quite easily.
Yeah.
At most, he Hex flashes over the Dragon Wall, and he'll still be in.
And remember, you can always touch up that mid lane as well, even though there's an Emperor's Divide there. Jiejie now moving to the other vertical side. He's just gone from one to another. We'll take away this chicken. Eimy going to spot him out now after getting into his own territory. But Jiejie able to get through. Still another camp away.
Yep, the Skarner does need the Spire secured if he wants to win that trade. He's going up against Challenger. Oh,
bottom lane
great
trade.
binding.
Yeah, Meiko not going to take too much damage here. Good spell shield, even better from Kramer. Hang on, the flash to come through. And now for the Boomerang Blade. Better trade still coming through. The light binding doesn't connect. The scout comes down for the roam. On the hunt is stolen, but a TP coming through. He used it just to get out.
Yuumi could roam here. He had the Emperor's Divide, so Scout, very smart on that one. Does decide to back off. Doesn't want to run into full force into a wall.
But Yuuki's hanging around here. Clement has the Emperor's Divide available and Scout at half health. iBoy has the heal, but or rather not quite. EDG lose out on this trade, and a good response from LGD to waver the aggression that EDG keep bringing to this bottom side.
And PYL has just been on point with these light bindings. That was a double two-piece on his side, catching both members of EDG, stopping the aggression, stopping the damage, and they're able to trade back on Meiko. They force the flash from him as well. So very well played by PYL. It's been a very long time since we've seen him on the Rift. He has taken a long hiatus. Already has been filling the starting role, but he's been using his time well.
I don't think we can talk about that now, Clement, because PYL in a bit of trouble. They were backing away, but look at where the Xin Zhao is. Eimy moving into him. Predator now propped. He wants the kill onto Jiejie. Flashes away, but he doesn't care. He has Hex Flash. It means he gets to do the crazy stuff again.
Oof. And this is getting quite tough for EDG. They're losing a lot of this early game tempo. You can see the summoners are now all up for the bot side of LGD outside of that flash, and their windows for getting kills easily here are closing.
Yeah, level 6 now on the Scorpion as well. Flowers, if you're out there, you're about to see some magic here from Eimy. This man ready to go fast, who already has a lead in jungle due to how Jiejie has been trying to focus this bottom lane.
In the top side, nothing much really happening. We haven't been given a lot of...
Except Boots of Swiftness on lives.
Just to make sure you don't get caught by the tongue lash.
So negating a lot up to the top lane, but still bottom lane focus here. LGD is a 4-man unit. Start this dragon up.
Yeah, great vision on the bottom side. Jiejie, can he get the steal?
Stolen, finds it, not onto the Sivir, but onto Yuuki. Now with the light binding to come through, they get the final spark with Jiejie. Gonna get erupted while Meiko finds a 2-man knockup. In comes Lion, the flank though. He's here first. He pop blossoms down, and that's all you need. LGD have taken this handedly. They'll chase after Scout. They'll knock him once, twice, while iBoy tries to get the auto attacks off and Lies is burning down. Will he die? Scout comes back in, but he gets tickled with a little bit of fancy. iBoy to run back in, and PYL sacrifices his life, but iBoy flashes on in. Doesn't have the Q evolve, but might not need it. The W is the magic there.
Does he have the mana for W? Yes, he does!
He's not going to find it. Kramer easily moves out of the way, and LGD end up trading even.
Ooh, such a close team fight being traded back and forth right there. And I think the main reason that EDG were able to come out slightly ahead was Meiko's great initiation onto Yuuki. Does manage to catch out multiple people and the main damage dealer before the Emperor's Divide could even come out here. So you could see Skarner going back, just dragging. Oh, it was actually Scout.
It was fake Skarner.
It was Scout dragging Yuuki back to his death before he could really get any of his sustained damage in, and then you see a sustained trade, but most importantly, iBoy does get the red buff from all of that, able to chase back, and LGD have to back out right here. was a really good spell shield and a great light binding from the bot lane of LGD, but they can't hang with iBoy.
And it went to all iBoy. Look at the gold there. Manamune now picked up. The Kaiser accelerated here in this game. So while it was a 3-for-3 trade across the board, LGD down 1,000 gold, now have to contest with Jiejie towards this top side. And even Scout and Meiko have made the roam. Lies has the pop blossom down. Jiejie flashes on into it, wants to get himself over, but Lies is still going to die, still makes it worth, and still gives Scout his second kill.
A little bit too curious on Lies' side. You know that Herald plate is coming over.
Oh, hang on. You're going to find yourself Jinoo, though, in the bottom side. But remember, Tom Kench, he does not die. Catfish man, still okay in this 2v1.
People always just call him a frog in China. Nobody calls him a catfish.
But the thing is, he's not a frog. He's a catfish.
I'm sorry, he's a catfish. Okay.
And Eimy coming down. Here we go. He's going to catfish Jinoo. Level 8 on the Tom Kench. Just backs away. Going to be the Bammy Cinder here as well. And this game's been going so fast that we haven't had a chance to talk about the top lane. And it hasn't been important up until that last play where Lies came in. And Jinoo has decided, teleport to lane, stay in the lane, get to that one-item power spike where we're seeing the Bammy Cinder soon turn into Sunfire Cake.
I probably didn't have teleport for that one. You know, he is running unsealed spellbook, so lots of changes in that one. You do see the ghost being selected.
Yep.
I like that idea for the kill
Hang
potential.
On. We've got a Rift Herald top. We also got Lies in a bad position. He walked back under turret, but I think he's going to regret this the most. Lies going to die a second time, and you're giving it over to iBoy. We're TP in the bottom lane. Jinoo looking for the engage onto Kramer. The Emperor's Divide to get the frog off of them. Final Spark doesn't get the kill, but LGD all grouped up towards the bottom side where they're losing out hard top.
He's so thick. You just can't take him down. I'm talking about the thick skin.
Yeah, no, of course you were. Scout coming in, Pop Blossom down here. He stole the ultimate. We're just fighting again. Scout gets one onto Yuuki. Now Meiko caught out. Double light binding again from PYL. Trying to carry here on this Lux, but Jinoo eats him up. They connect, but Jinoo's still able to tank it away, and LGD can't get the turret while this top lane force is still working out.
So just to take hold of the situation, it was 6-4 a while ago. So EDG actually just come out with the extra 2 kills onto the top side, and of course a return kill back and forth in the bottom lane between Yuuki. A lot of messy plays, but gold lead over towards EDG. They do take the 2 towers onto the top lane, so a better defense there. The 4-man couldn't crack the 3-man in the bot side, and the 2-man decimated Lies in the top side.
And the turret is still there. Like, the bottom lane turret's still there. LGD with turret plating up have yet to open the map, and this is looking like the game one from the reverse with a look here onto Scout just cleaning up Yuuki.
Yeah, really good engage, wombo combo. Scout goes in Pop Blossom, WQ combo.
The support's hanging out.
And there's just not enough minions for them to chase down that kill. They're just off by a little bit.
I said this was like game one. Well, I stick by my statement here. A 3-1-3 mid laner. iBoy's in such an advantage. I mean, he's got 1,500 gold over the Sivir. Even the mid lane, 1,200 there. Top side is where Lies is excelling, but he's died a couple of times now as well. He's given that gold over to Scout and iBoy. So right now, win condition for LGD, where we talked about how they were going to potentially diffuse some of these lanes, hold on with the pick potential that's come through from the Skarner. Well, EDG, that was a weird noise. EDG have such a lead right now that this is only going to get better.
It's just the Q evolve coming in from iBoy. And LGD, they had 3 range lanes that had priority if they were able to keep themselves in the laning phase.
Yeah.
However, that one is completely over. Herald already taken from the entirety of the top side. So this is where we really see the Tahm Kench in action. This is what I'm really curious about. The first Tahm Kench top lane that we're seeing in the LPL. I think mainly the way you have to initiate is just put yourself in the thick of it and Abyssal Voyage behind enemy lines.
True. Get aggressive with it. Still hasn't picked up that first item, but that should be coming soon. Jinoo on the roam with the rest of EDGs. They go back into the vertical jungle that started it off here, taking away the spies, denying the Skarner. And even that tongue lash does so much to Yuuki. He just has to walk away, and he didn't get any turret plating in that top lane. Still does a bit of damage, but you can see why iBoy is so accelerated. 613 gold. Very specific.
Yeah, we're going to see the Rage Blade and the Manamune.
Picked up before 12 minutes, by the way. 2 items at 12 minutes is disgustingly good.
This is going to be a fast one. A lot of times we see the completion of Muramana around 19 minutes, 18:40, around that time.
Yeah.
But this one, we might be seeing it pre-18.
Here we go. Get in. Oh, Lies is just walking away. They spent a lot of time there I think he's just out.
Yeah, Scout didn't need to go on that ride. Probably could have forced the flash.
Lars just walks out all the same, so still with summoners in hand. Might be an opportunity because the teleport's going to come in handy here if Eimy and PYL can stop this bottom lane rotation.
And not a dive that EDG really want a chance at this point. Both solo laners not around this section. So just taking a bit more control.
What does that say, Clement?
It says Jiejie Jiao.
×1.
Well, if you do donate to the cause and support the players, then you have your name appear on stream.
Is it like a certain amount of money? Did they donate a lot?
I heard that you don't actually require that much of a donation to appear on stream.
Just so you're all aware, don't do that in our Twitch chat. You get absolutely nothing. You can if you want, actually.
Hey, we don't mind.
I'm not going down this path, actually.
Come on.
I'm going to just incriminate myself the further I talk. You've got yourself a 3k gold. Like, speaking of money here and all realism, there's 3,500 gold still on ADG at 16 minutes. So this game still looking like a sure thing, but remember that Yuuki this whole time has been farming away, still the Azir, and Nico's got her first item towards the top side, and even the Sivir building towards that IE second for Kramer. So there's a lot that can come online over the next couple of items that EDG still have to be aware of.
LGD just don't want to fight at this point. The key thing for EDG in this next couple of minutes before 20, if they can crack the mid lane, then it will become a very, very easy game. But the way they have to do it is they need to think about how to spread LGD out. You can see they're having side lane, top lane priority, and the most likely play for them afterwards is just an Abyssal Voyage. Just basically drop themselves behind the mid lane tower, get a kill onto Yuuki, finish off that mid lane tower, and snowball to Baron.
And not get caught out like this,
go.
as Yuuki's going to jump on two people. The heroes engage, it seems. Yuuki ignited, though. Clementi's still dead.
And that was not a good idea from Yuuki. I think the best way for him to play that was actually just to stick around in mid lane.
He was baited by the control ward. He saw it, but he didn't see anyone else with it. So EDG, if they want to crack open this mid lane turret that you suggested, then more picks like that makes it even easier.
But they do spot the bot side from LGD rotating towards mid. LGD understand this as well. Mid lane tower is going to be the most important. It's far better for Baron contest to have your mid lane tower up rather than your bot lane. So they are going to rotate, save themselves the trouble, and EDG are going to take the undefended objective.
But the thing is, they've got vision on that top side, and the only person they don't see is Yuuki, who's moving across. iBoy and Meiko backing away. That seems rather smartly, as the bottom wave eventually pushes in and draws the Azir's attention, while Lies heads towards the top side and does no damage to Jinoo. I mean, granted, it's grey health, but he'll just heal that one back up.
Playing against Tahm Kench top lane is
fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
so fun.
Pretty frustrating.
If
your jungler doesn't come, like, nothing happens.
I was going to say, he doesn't even have his first item, and he's just that aggressive. He's got Spectre's Cowl, Bammy Cinder, Glacial Shroud, like, Jinoo building different ways at the moment.
It's the tasting menu.
Yeah.
So, like, bit of this, a bit of resist
Bit of some canapes in the inventory at the moment, as EDG might be caught out. They walk blindly into this jungle. LGD there with the final spark, but Meiko pops back to jungle himself. They get the stun. He walks away, but Scout into the middle, but the Pop Blossom does more. Lies again, working well in synergy, but iBoy into the backline with the Killer Instinct down to Kramer. He flushes himself, but Yuuki wants to jump on him. iBoy still lives. So does Scout. To turn this fight around, he needs a Kingslayer, but he can't find that. LGD open wide, and EDG come inside.
And once again, Lies comes to the rescue. A beautiful Pop Blossom. I believe he got 4 people on the front side of EDG. EDG is playing a little bit too rough. Not Vision setup, walks into light binding there, and the entire team of LGD is prepared to engage. On the hunt used, everyone onto the same location. And are we going to see another comeback?
From LGD, the Kryptonite, Clement. Every single time these teams meet, it doesn't matter if EDG have been performing well. In this case, they really haven't in the previous series. But LGD constantly the damaging factor to this team. And even in the second game with such a lead built up, down it goes.
I need to see that team fight again. Just looking at it, LGD actually had the vision advantage. They had the teleport coming in first as well. And even though they try to focus down on Skarner, it just takes too long for them to get the kill. Oh my god. Beautiful Pop Blossom. That was on the entire backline of EDG. All 3 people caught there.
Yeah, it was
and
insane.
just look at the vision game being played by Kramer on the small screen. Very smart of him to step back into the brush, and it forces Jinoo to guess with his tongue lash if he can actually hit Kramer, and Kramer dances around that pocket, goes back in to clean up the fight.
Ooh, Scout, though, getting aggressed on in the 1v2 now. He protobelts away just to dodge, trying to waste time. He has the Impale himself. The rest of LGD are coming up here. He uses his first, but the Emperor's Divide send him skyward while the teleport to come in for the engage. Scout living very long. Jinoo, now what is this going to do? What is the purpose of this?
Is he going to outlast this fight?
Jinoo, very tanky. It's a 5 now versus 3. He flashes over the wall. Scout's still alive. Sun turret going down with Meiko and iBoy joining the fight. Scout should live here. And that teleport, I guess it was worth.
That was very unexpected. That looked like a bad idea for a long time.
My God, but what? Yeah, sure. All right. So a lot expended, though, for EDG. There was a couple of flashes there from Scout and Jinoo. Now we'll see if it's going to hurt them in the next fight, because that's an Emperor's Divide taken. They eventually rotate towards the bottom side and start moving up to increase their vision line.
Double flash for a Ocean Drake traded away on the bot side. I have to give this one to LGD. I prefer their trade. And we have to remember the time is ticking for EDG.
Yeah.
LGD with the Azir and the Sivers ramping up.
Because they're on their 1-item, 2-item power spikes. Like the Meiko especially, you've got your 2 Glacial Augment enhanced items on that top lane Chameleon. And Eli's being in a good position now, sets him up to look for some of these picks. But EDG, no tempo is a factor. As Emperor's Divide comes out, they want that mid lane turret, but LGD's wave clear is insane.
Definitely so. I agree with the Colonel on this one. The further this game goes, the better it is for LGD. He gave it a 70, I believe like a 55% chance as it reaches 35 minutes for LGD over the likes of EDG. And this is something they need to pay close attention to. LGD has done very well in defending their own jungle. Look at the vision that they've been able to scan, especially with those spires as well. It's actually quite easy to hold on to control.
A lot of vision ward priority here from LGD as well. Look at it across the board. Couple just placed there by Kramer and PYL. But with that priority, I would also say Yuuki, sell the 1 Doran's ring, get some control wards here. I always hate it competitive when we just see the lack of priority on vision control. But still 2 items on the Azir here to highlight the player.
Hey, you don't like my 15 vision score with Trinket?
No, you should have more.
You definitely should.
Good to see Amy's keeping up with the support, though. Shout out to SOFM, who goes above and beyond there in the vision score in the jungle. Actually, Jiejie keeping up with Meiko as well. So there's some highlights here from really both teams, but at the end of the day, LGD, that gold lead's only 2K now. We're still at a point where you're fearing, if you're EDG, that tempo is slowed down. 23 minutes in this game when iBoy is that fed that he's not getting even more.
And I want to see EDG try to focus down on some of these side lanes. You have to remember, if Scout goes to the side lane, he lands something and Kai'Sa follows up, it's a very easy kill. And he's going to have that teleport to match anything that happens on the other side of the map. So that's a way that EDG can try to break this stalemate rather than going into the ARAM mode. Here they go. Yeah,
this is dangerous, though, because Jiejie jumps in first, pops the ulti straight away. Kramer always gets bursted out. Meiko dodges away from the live binding, but Pop Blossom coming on here. Scout hits nobody while the final spark to come through. But they've found Yuuki, they've found the Azir. 4 versus 5, and EDG with one simple pick now open up the window for Baron.
Where did he go? I didn't even see how he collapsed. It was a great hit on PYL just to make sure that Scout couldn't come into the composition, but I didn't see how Yuuki died at all. He didn't even get to flash.
And at this point, the longer this Baron goes on, LGD will be able to send him into the fray once again. But EDG are really just smacking it home. 4 versus 5 for LGD still for 12 seconds. Oof. Goes gold, and that's Scout on the side. Pop Blossom negated by Lies. He tries to use it onto Jiejie, who flashes over the wall out of the Baron. EDG want to find the fight instead. PYL, the one caught out, and the Lux just drops instantly. Teleport now here for Yuuki. We're still in a 4v5.
That was a really good play from EDG. You rarely see both flanks advancing that well at the same time to force the entire composition for LGD to back out. They were on the top side, making sure Skarner couldn't try a backsteal, and they were on the front side as well. So nothing that LGD could really accomplish right there, and they give up another kill on PYL.
Immediately, you do get the mid lane turret off the back of it, though. So for LGD, at least opening up windows in this game, getting Bob back, Meiko's found a good flank position, but LGD negate it straight away into the fray again. We once again see the Emperor's Divide used by Yuuki, sends him into a corner while Lies locks him on down. The Azir still free firing, but Yuuki, the ult from the Killer Instinct on iBoy, doesn't get him. He goes gold, and he's still alive. Into the side, it's Kramer now who's hitting away. He gets jumped on by the jungle, and EDG spit out what they chew. A triple over to EDG's iBoy. And that fight so back and forth could have gone LGD's way.
Insane aggro juggling from EDG. They just hop in and out of vision, so Kramer can never finish off one target. Meiko goes back in the brush. iBoy flashes over the wall, and they all escape in sub 200 HP situations to wipe the team fight from LGD.
Once more, let's go.
That was so damn close from their side. Meiko finds a perfect engage right here. He gets Yuuki. Yuuki's like, not again. He goes back. And just look, this is a free-firing situation for Kramer. Great Emperor's Divide. But how do EDG manage to escape all of this? This is absolutely insane. You can see iBoy coming in, very low health. Jinoo actually going low as well. Meiko almost no health. And two of them still are able to come back and just make it a one-sided fight for EDG.
And as we come back to live, PYO was picked off by iBoy. 8th kill of the game, and EDG start the Baron with another 4v5 from LGD, but this time committing to the Baron and committing to the Pop Blossom. They've picked up the objective, and Scout gets the stun onto Eimy. So that's just it. EDG now with a firm grasp back on this game.
Good zoning from EDG. You know Eimy doesn't have flash. Stick to him with CC and make sure he can't come anywhere near the pit. Strong finish from EDG, and they're now in a 6K gold lead. This is the difference between EDG and LGD when one side has a lead. EDG are not hesitant to start things, to finish off team fights.
Yeah.
They know how to play with the lead.
Squeamish was the response of LGD in game one, but EDG are anything but that. Colonel comes in, you flip-floppy man. 88% he believes, and at this point you would too. I want to point out in that last fight that for LGD, the bane of their existence became the stolen Skarner ulti. The benefit of Sylas running into something as strong as an Impale is that Scout can choose between ultis at that level 16 so frequently, and when one of them is the Impale, it's a key ulti that, in the last fight, Yuuki was unable to auto because he just got pulled back.
And in the last couple of fights, EDG actually always found the pick before LGD could fully fight them in a 5v5. You think about the mid lane, it was Yuuki dying, and before that it was PYL getting decimated.
Yeah.
So this is, again, the style of EDG where when they think about team fights, they're mainly thinking about how do I get that nuke down? How do I get that instant pick?
Double Hex Flash. Hello, Eimy. Underneath Dart, we're going to fight once again. They audaciously charge onto Eimy, and he's already dead with Yuuki sitting in the backline. He can't free fire away. Scout even comes in for CC duty while we're in another 4v5. LGD keep getting picked off one by one.
And that's just so well played by EDG. They take the Zhonya's into consideration. I'm going to cut your backline off. I'm going to basically attract all of the firepower away from your carries, and we're going to have time in the front to just kill Eimy.
And then suddenly we're left to a point where now underneath their inhibitor turret, LGD want to fight, but they've already lost the turret. They're walking away. Jinoo getting hit out hard, but look at the grey health. Top lane Tarmkan still alive. Meiko re-engages an iBoy. Goes in with a Killer Instinct, but too ambitious. I think so. Double light binding into the final spark. They're going to fire away once again, and it's Yuuki who's got the best of the situation. He sends out the soldiers, and with the audacious charge not even getting ready, Yuuki picks up a double.
And that was not worth it from EDG. We've been saying this the entire series, but EDG, if you want to play this style, you want to play this tempo, you can't make mistakes like that. That was a massive shutdown gold lead going over to LGD and to Yuuki of all people.
That's right, the person you don't want to have it. And when they find Kramer, they're like, yeah, we can do this. But EDG got the turret and didn't leave.
That was a situation where 100% the correct play was just to let Jinoo die off. It's not worth giving up shutdown gold, or Meiko, excuse me, not worth giving shutdown gold over to the enemy team just to trade that one back. And you have to think you're also a Baron team as well. So these are multiple turrets, inhibitor turrets even, that you could have gotten if you didn't go for that trade.
And with another Baron coming up in about 2.5 minutes or so, that Baron buff is about to expend. There was no inhibitor from that trade too, so inhibitor turret, the only thing to drop, means that, yeah, look at Yuuki. Look at the gold difference mid.
It's been negated completely. He is now perfectly on on par.
Now the biggest difference on the map is still, rather, iBoy and Kramer. If Kramer able to keep going in these fights, able to get his 4th item, then he starts getting closer to iBoy too. So in the lane matchups, when LGD was so far out when this game should be over, and it should be going to a Game 3, LGD getting closer to that win condition to potentially shut EDG down further.
Yeah, EDG still like playing on the knife's edge. They like forcing things a lot. They don't want to ever play a game where they have to claw themselves back from behind. So always very strong-headed when they have that sort of a lead. But we've also seen this kind of bite them in the past before, where they just go a little bit too aggressive. They can back out at times and just settle for a better deal, but they're not willing to do that. And right now, I think they're going into a situation where if you look at the items, the Zhonya's are all completed on the front line.
True.
And it's going to be harder to get those focused down. It's going to be harder to prevent LGD from coming up with some sort of a big AoE wombo combo going down. PYL has been super on point with all of these light bindings, and it's just a matter of time before someone gets caught by that.
And now Siva has 4 items as well, so look at what's on the board. Double Zeal here for Kramer. He's going to be a key aspect, as well as Yuuki getting the Zhonya's Hourglass. Harder to kill. 3 items on the top side. It's the Zhonya's 3rd for Lies. So all these core items just coming through and making LGD look even more competitive in this second game. Still the same gold lead, but Infernal's coming up next, and this one is a hot topic for both.
PYL needs to be very safe around this corner, but at this point in time, as long as LGD makes sure that the ones being focused is their own front line in Eimy, I think they should be fine. Like, their 5v5 actually is not as weak as it may look with the results of these team fights.
Oh, but they know
I love this.
Yeah, because they saw the support on a ward, so Jinoo gets pulled back. He has to flash. The final spark almost kills him, but it's Kramer in the end. For LGD, the trigger's been pulled. Meiko locked down. Light stops him from getting in the fight with the pop blossom coming down. Scout flushes forward, but look at Yuuki. Look at the bottom lane as iBoy decides to ult in now. They're going to reverse ulti. They find himself, but iBoy is still alive. You're right, Clement. You're damn right. Meiko with a 3-man knockup. Scout jumps in, and EDG have taken the fight. All because Meiko brings it back, redeems himself, and iBoy does the rest.
iBoy breaks the double-digit kill barrier, going at 11 kills right there. That was a great start from LGD. I love the idea right there. They did have a sizable team fight advantage, especially after taking out Jinoo, but iBoy just weaved in and out so perfectly. He actually baited out the response from Lies. Lies using his Pop Blossom, and then he cleanses and walks out of the ultimate, goes into a brush, finishes off all the kills. A true top-tier AD carry for sure.
And EDG, look, showcasing here in game number 2. We're going the distance in a series that has been bloodthirsty, back and forth, and looks to deliver in this final game.
40 kills in game 2, 12 of them going over to iBoy, and he closes it out with authority.